Hello, student. We had completed this first chapter of the biology, and that is the fundamental unit of life, cell. Now, today we will start with the new chapter or the first chapter of the physics, and that is motion. So, before we go further and understand the term motion or the other thing that is related to the motion, we will see that what are the learning objectives, what are the content of this chapter, or what we will understand by this chapter. Okay, so see here, the first topic that we have to understand is motion. It means we have to understand the meaning of the motion, what is the different types of the motion. Okay, then we have to understand the distance and displacement and what is the difference between both of them. Then we will see the uniform and the non-uniform motion. That motion is there, but one is uniform, another is non-uniform, and how they differ from each other. Then we will see the speed. In speed, we will also see the average speed, and with the help of a distance and time, how we will able to calculate the value of a speed. Then we will come to the velocity, and in the velocity we will see the uniform velocity, non-uniform velocity, average velocity, okay, as well as the graph related to it. Next one is the acceleration. Then we will understand the term acceleration, uniform and non-uniform acceleration, as well as that of the retardation, and what are the different graphs which represent the acceleration as well as that of the retardation. Finally, we will see the equation of a uniform accelerated motion, that is the different equation of motion. That is the first equation of motion, second equation of motion, and the third equation of motion. Okay, so three equation of motion is there. So at last we will see the equation of uniformly accelerated motion. Now we should understand that is motion. So when we talk about the motion, you see a lot of things like that of a house, a school, electric pole, or a hospital, anything. All these things you see, these all are a stationary object. Stationary object, stationary object. It means which remain fixed at a place. It does not change its place. It remain fixed. On the other hand, if you see a lot of the object including man, animals, birds, or the train or ship, aeroplane, all these things, they do not remain stationary or they do not remain fixed at a place. They move. They can move from one place to the another, like a man. A man moves when he walks, a fish moves when it swims in the water, or similarly a car or a bus, it moves on a road. So you see that the movement of the body, whenever we call that this body is able to move, it means the movement of the body, it is also known as by the term that is motion. And you see in all the moving body, a common characteristic of these moving body is that they change their position with respect to the time. So we can define motion as a change in the position of an object, or a body is in motion when its position changes continuously with respect to time, or with respect to a stationary object which is taken as a reference point. Okay, now for example, when a car, it changes its position continuously with respect to a stationary object like houses or trees, we can say the car is moving or it is in motion. So we can define motion as a change in the position of an object with respect to time or with respect to its surrounding or a reference point or a fixed object which is taken as a reference point. Similarly, we can define that an object at rest. How can we say this object is at rest? So, an object is at rest when the position of an object it does not changes with respect to time or with respect to the surrounding. Okay, it means a body is at rest, it means it does not change its position, it remain fixed. So we need to consider the surrounding. When we talk about here with respect to the surrounding or a point of observation while describing that whether an object is at state of motion or whether an object is at a state of a rest. So we should always take a point of observation, and that point of observation which confirms that whether the object is at motion or object is at fixed position, that point is known as a reference frame or a reference point. Now see here, with the help of this diagram you are able to understand that what is the reference point, or how can we say with the help of a reference point that an object is at rest or an object is at motion. Now see here, these two are the stationary object. This is a house, okay, and a tree. It remain fixed at its position. Okay, it does not move with respect to time, so it is a stationary object. So if suppose we take any of these two as a reference point, to see what, to see that whether this car is moving or not. Okay, so now suppose when a car is at a position of a okay, then at that time the reference point, if you see that the distance between that of the stationary object to the moving car was less. Now it starts moving, or it is moving with respect to a certain time, or after 5 seconds this car reaches from position A to position B. Okay, so now the distance between this car from position B to that of the reference point, that is that of the house or the tree, is little bit far as compared to the position A. So by this it is proof that this car is moving from A to that of the B. So with respect to this stationary object, it is proved that this car is moving or it is in motion. Now if a body it is moving little bit fast or fairly fast, then the motion of that particular body can be observed easily as compared to a body which is moving very slowly. For example, a watch, a wristwatch, and you know in the wristwatch there are 3 hands: a minute hand, a hour hand, and a second hand. If you see the movement of these 3, then you will find the movement of the second hand is quite fast as compared to that of the minute hand and that of the hour hand. So it will be very easy for us to observe the movement of a second hand rather than that of a minute hand or that of the hour hand. Okay, so movement can be easily recognized. It totally depends upon its speed, that whether it is fast or it is very slow. Okay, so in order to study that the motion of a object or object, whether it is moving, first of all we should know the meaning of a two term, and that is distance, and displacement. Now we will try to understand the distance and the displacement of a body. So when we define distance, distance is the length of a path or the path which is covered by a body or traveled by a body while moving from one point to that of the another point, or by moving from the initial point to that of the final position. We can understand it that if suppose an object is living at a position A here and wants to go this place which is at the position B, then the person, if the path which is from A to B is this one, so this whole path which is covered by a body to reach a position A to B is defining its distance. We can understand in a very simple way, like if suppose if an object is there or if a man is there who is living at a place A, okay, living at a place A, and if that man have to travel from A to C, but before that that person have to go a place that is at B. So at first the person will travel from A to B and then from B to C. Okay, now suppose the distance between that of the A to B is 5 kilometer and that of the B to C is a 3 kilometer. Okay, so what is the total distance traveled by a person from position A to B or B to C? So the total distance travel is the actual length or the actual path covered by this man or the moving body, irrespective of the direction in which it is traveling. So the total distance or total path covered by the man, that will be equals to 5 kilometer plus 3 kilometer, and that is equals to the 8 kilometer. Okay, so the total path covered, total distance travel is a 8 kilometer. Now if we change the situation that the person wants to go from position A to C, okay, directly from A to C, then one more line will be there from A to C, and if the distance between that of the A to C is 4 kilometer and the direction it travel from A to C is a east direction. So you can see that this path which is covered by the man from A to C is comparatively shorter than that of the path which is traveled from A to B to C. Okay, so we can say that this distance is the shortest distance to reach the final position or to reach from the initial to the final position. And since it is also defining the direction or the direction in which the body move, it is defining the displacement. So we can say that when a body it move from one point to the another, the distance traveled refer to the actual path covered by the body, and it does not depend that in which direction that body is moving. But when we talk about the displacement it refers to the straight line path between the initial or the final position, Or we can define displacement that a body move from one position to the another position the shortest distance between the initial and that of the final position along with the direction defines the displacement. Now you will be able to understand the person want to move from house to that of the school, and the distance that he traveled is this path. Okay, the path is equals to the length of a 2 kilometer. This path he follows and the total distance covered that is equals to the 2 kilometer. But when we talk about the shortest path from that of the house to the school is the straight path, or the very shortest distance between that of the house to the school is this one. And the straight path, it is also defining in which direction it is moving, so it defines the displacement. So displacement is the shortest distance between the initial and the final position of the body. Now see here it is written that distance is a scalar quantity. Scalar quantity, it means the distance is having a kind of a value, but it does not have a direction. It, or we can say that distance has a magnitude only, but there is no specified direction mentioned while measuring the distance. But in case of a displacement, we are always talking that a person, if moving from house to the school or from A to the C, it is moving in a east direction. It means the direction is specified. So that quantity, or that particular quantity which is having the value, or which is having the magnitude as well as it is having the direction, it defines the displacement. So distance, it is a scalar quantity, and displacement, it is a vector quantity. Although the SI unit of both of them, that is of distance as well as displacement, is meter only. Here the magnitude is important. Direction, it does not important in case of a distance. But in case of a displacement, the direction of the motion is always directed from the initial to the final position. It means in case of a displacement, magnitude as well as the direction both are important. Now we can see here scalar quantities. So scalar quantity is what? It is a physical quantity which can be described by its magnitude only. It means it is having some kind of a value, it having some kind of a magnitude. That kind of a quantity is known as a scalar quantity. Example is the mass of an object. So we only have to know that how much matter is present in the object, what is the exact mass of the object. We never think that in which direction it is moving or what is the direction of the mass. No, mass, it does not have a direction, but it is having some kind of a value, and that value is defined by how much matter is present in that particular substance. So a quantity which is having only magnitude but there is no direction is mentioned, that kind of a quantity is known as a scalar quantity. Now if you see in case of a vector quantity, here physical quantity, it requires direction along with the magnitude. For example, if we consider force, then along with the magnitude of the force, we also know the direction along which the force is applied. It means if suppose you are pushing a table, so you are applying the force in it. So certain force you are applying, so you are knowing the value, that magnitude, what number of a force you are applying on that particular table, as well as you are knowing that in which direction the table moves. Okay, so here you see the magnitude, the value as well as the direction, both are both we are knowing about it, or both is describing the force. Then we can say that force is a vector quantity. So a physical quantity which is showing the magnitude, which is having a magnitude as well as a direction, that quantity is known as a vector quantity. Okay, so this is the basic difference between that of the vector quantity to that of the scalar quantity. There are some more example of the displacement. Suppose a body, it start moving from a position A to that of the B. So it travel a three path. The first path, it start from this to this one. The second part, I'm skipping the second part. The third part, it can move from this to this. Okay, so this is the distance it travel from this position or from this position, and this is the second path by which it moved from position A to B. So the distance, when we talk about the distance, the path 1 is having a kind of a distance, path 3 is having, path 2 is having. But when we talk about that what is the displacement between that of a point A to B, then the straight path which moves, a straight line which joins the initial position to that of the final position defines the displacement of the body. Okay, it is the shortest distance, or it is the straight line that we can draw from the position A to position B, or from the initial position to that of the final position. Now see here, we can understand with the help of this example. A man, he moves from a point A to point B and then to point C, and finally it reaches to point D as shown in the diagram. Okay, so find the distance and the displacement traveled by a man. So at first, when he traveled from A to B, he traveled 50 meter, then B to C 30 meter, and then C to D, it reaches up to D. So what we have to find is the distance, and we know that the distance is the total path covered by an object or covered by this man. So what is the total path from A to B, B to C, and C to D? So you know that AB, this will be equals to that of the CD. It is also equals to the 50 meter. Okay, so A to B is 50, B to C is 50, and C to D is also 50. So the total distance will be 50 plus 30 plus 50. That is equals to 130 meter. It is the total distance traveled by the person from A to D. From A to D. But when we talk about the displacement, we know that the straight path or the straight line or the shortest distance from that of the initial position to that of the final position. So this is the initial position A, and D is the final position. The shortest distance is from this to this. So what is the shortest distance? Shortest distance will be 30 meter only. 30 meter to the north, because it is moving from D to A. Okay, so this is the displacement in which the magnitude as well as we have to show the direction in it. You can understand with the help of this that here it is moving from A to D. So the shortest distance or the straight path which joins the initial position to the final position defines the displacement. Now see here, if we compare a circular field or a man, it starts moving from position A. This is the start position. It takes a trip, or it moves from here, and finally it again come to the finish line, or to the place from where it is from where it started the race. Okay, so what is the displacement of the body? When we talk about the distance here, the distance will be the total path which is covered by the body from this start to that of the finish line. But when we talk about the displacement, here the displacement will be zero. Why is it so? Because this person started from the start this line and finally it comes to the finish line. So the distance between the started point or the initial point to that of the final position will be 0. Started from this point and again it comes to the same point. So what is the distance between them? The distance from the initial to the position is 0. Okay, so displacement it can be 0, but distance it cannot be 0. So by this we can say if a person taking a round trip, the displacement will be 0. Or if a person started something from a particular point and again end to the same point, there must be some distance from this position to again coming from the same position, but the displacement will be 0 since the initial and the final position both are the same. So the distance between the initial to that of the final position will be 0.